Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome on into North Dakota today. A special day today. It's National Hard Candy Day. So we're taking a look at the sweet history with a taste of the past. And who better to join us this morning and talk about it than celebrity historian Raffi Andonian. Good morning.
Good morning, and a great time to talk about it too, because as Dolly Parton said, me, I'll be just fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas.
Oh my gosh, anyone who comes on and immediately sings Dolly as a win in my book. Good morning, Raffi. That was incredible, first of all. So for our viewers at home, when did hard candy first even come into existence?
Think about the colonial period. In the colonial era, you have apothecaries. And in apothecaries, they love to use sugar and candy to mix together for the purpose of medicine, because medicine didn't taste very good. For example, think about, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, right? So that kind of mindset was there. And I actually think that we still have that today. Look, I brought these vitamins here.
Yeah.
And these vitamins, if you look at them, they look like little candies. So to this day, we use this kind of association of medicine and candy together. Think about cough syrup, think about, different things. Now, they would use it similarly, chest ailments, digestive issues, think about like chocolate-covered or chocolate-flavored laxatives that we use today.
Right.
So there's still residues and echoes of that today, but originally the candy starts in apothecaries as a use of medicine. And also think today about lollipops that we get from the dentist's office. So we kind of still carry some of that tradition.
Wow, so medicinal to just overall enjoyment. Can you kind of walk us through that transition?
It does change over time, you're right. So what happens is sugar was a very high-priced commodity in the colonial period. It was known as white gold. You often would lock it up. Well, what happens over the course of the 19th century is with industrialization and the drop in the price of sugar, it becomes much more widespread and therefore something used for pleasure as well, as you point out. Couple different big changes happen. One is the rise of candy making machine, which is made by the pharmacist. So there's that kind of medicine association again. And the thing that he makes with the machine is his lozenges, which are also medicinal. They look something like this on the inside. They look just like little candies if you were to open them up. And those candies, to this day, sometimes they still exist in the form of these lozenges. But then what happens also is a rise of chocolate, which is not hard candy, but in the course of the 20th century, we have a lot more chocolate that comes. And that's seen more as like a adult candy versus sort of the, little candies for the little kids, right? And then the other thing that happens is it gets associated with Christmas and the holidays. Before Halloween was a big thing associated with candy, Christmas and Easter were the biggest times for candy. And so that's why it makes so much sense for, the candy celebration to be now during the Christmas time.
Okay, yes, we love all of this. And, we still see it in the cough drop, so the medicinal point and the vitamins. Yep, that makes total sense.
And everything. Yep.
Yeah, so has our taste evolved, though, with, time?
I would say it has. Now, look, let's look on the holiday period, okay?
Sure.
I brought also these candy canes, right? We got to think about the holidays and associating the candies and holidays. Candy canes are by far the highest selling candy during the period between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Almost 2 billion candy canes are sold. So I would say that's an evolution of change. You don't really have candy canes prior to about 100 years ago in any sort of popularity. But the origins of them do go back there's some beginnings of it in Germany a few hundred years ago before they were popularized, and they were all white. The sort of red stripe that we know them for didn't come about until later, until we added the mint maybe in the 1940s, 1950s. And what's interesting is there's kind of all these theories about why it's shaped like a hook. It started with a choir leader that was assigning it to the little kids. So it's seen as maybe the shepherd's hook, in the stories in the Bible. Or how about the story about hanging it on the Christmas tree, which is why it could be shaped like a hook. Or how about the J for representing Jesus? So there are some theories out there about that as well. My question, though, is which side do you eat it from? I mean, you could eat it from this side or you could eat it from that side. I mean, what do you think? Which side do you prefer to eat it from?
I always held the hook in my hand.
So that's what I think, too.
Yeah.
I mean, but apparently there are some people out there that eat it with the hook first. It's a minority, but some people do that.
Hey.
So our taste, what it shows me, though, is that the taste evolved from associating it purely with medicine to now seeing it with pleasure, celebration, holidays. Of course, the rise of chocolate. You have chocolates around Christmas time as well. But also, ultimately, History is never forgotten, though, because we do still have these funny places it intersects, like we saw in some of the examples earlier, despite things changing and despite sugar being much more widely available and cheaper for people to access in all kinds of different flavors.
Yeah, an incredible look at how far we've come. Raffi, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you all.
Okay, we're going to be singing Hard Candy Christmas all the way into the commercial break as we celebrate National Hard Candy Day. Thank you again. All right, everybody, stick around. Plenty more coming up right here on North Dakota Today.